there, Soulshines. It's Michele here, and it's a creative expressions video. This is the video in which I share finished objects, works in progress, life updates, all the things, whatever I feel inspired to share with you guys. So let's get started. First up, so I don't forget about them, we're going to do finished objects, and I'm going to put a picture up here of my daughter's fingerless gloves. And it was kind of fun to knit them. I definitely would have done things differently, but I silence everything and then forget about my alarms. So it is 8 p.m. on Friday night when I was supposed to record this on Thursday. And I have a wedding to go to tomorrow. So it's going to be a crunch time video. But anyway, I followed a tutorial and most of it was okay. She didn't necessarily have me doing the stitches down, but Cheyenne actually likes that. It looks okay. The thing that Cheyenne's okay with, and I'm like, is the thumb gusset. I followed the math that she said, but the math isn't right. And I did do a little playing with the math because I could tell, like having it on her, how many stitches would I need to take off for that to actually be a fitting thumb gusset. And I know what maths to use. So she did like 40%, but it really should be like 30%. So I know how to fix that in the future, which is nice. I like knowing formulas. I also like patterns. So I'm probably going to find a pattern because this yarn, I have the two balls that are approximately like this because I worked off of 2 skeins. And I've got 2 more skeins of this stuff. And this stuff is so soft, and I want a pair for me. So I found a pattern. I have to double check with the pattern what weight yarn it uses to know whether or not I can just work with it or if I have to make adjustments or find a different pattern or whatever. But I think that I'm going to be doing that for myself. When? I have no clue. But I do want them. I think they would be way fun. I am beyond excited. Let me grab it. I am so extra excited for this finished object. It is one of 4 of similar variety. My amazing subscriber bought me yarn, and I'm so very grateful. It reminds me of a time many years ago. I don't even remember when. I just had nothing, and the only thing I really wanted was to be able to at least make something for people for Christmas. I didn't really care if I bought them anything. I didn't care what it was. And I didn't care if the yarn was bought by somebody else, because it was the act of making it that would make it feel like it came from me. And so this is a similar type of a thing, and I'm so appreciative, and I cannot wait until the day that I can pay it forward. So it's a bucket hat. I will of course link the patterns down below. I'm a little bummed that I didn't pay attention. So the circle bucket hat is free. Everything about that is free. You can buy a print, I think, but the hat itself pattern is free, and she has a tutorial on how to do her circle squares. But I realized when I went to make the pattern that I actually had to buy the other pattern that I used instead, which is okay, but a little frustrating just because of how tight things have been. But I did it, and it's okay. Things are working out. So this, I'm going to kind of show you square by square the squares I made, and then I'll show you the whole hat. So this is one of the squares that I made. Little flounderfish. I had to think of the name. I was like, it's not Nemo. And then I made this one, a little like puffer blowfish kind of thing. So cute. So like some of the bits, even on here, the tail's partway sewed down. This fin right here is detached. It's just kind of fun how some of it is more three-dimensional and others are sewed in. So I've got those two squares. And then I can't decide which of the next two is my favorite so far, but I've got this cute little octopus. Isn't that adorable? And I had the instructions didn't say to sew down his legs, but they were flailing all over around, so I did sew them down a little bit. Not entirely, there's some bits that are still poking up, but mostly the legs are now sewed down. And I know now to do that intentionally on the next time I make an octopus. Because I will be making another octopus. I'm not necessarily making everything twice, because I divided it up so that I'm making 4 hats. So there's 16 patterns, and so I've divided it up so that kind of spread it out through all the kids and my son, his wife, and my 2 grandkids. And so then this is so cute. This one is actually an applique. The other 3, the circle in the middle was like this circle is sewed on. This one's actually an applique that is sewed on to the square. So super cute. So then, you know, we've got the hat where it just is just a cute little bucket hat for a child. So I'm really excited. I hope it fits them. I think it will. I mean, he's only 3, so it's so cute. And like I said, I don't know. I love all of them. They're all fun. I love how the colors pop on the white, which is part of why I stuck with the white. And I don't know whether this one or this one is my favorite, but I love this. And it's so fun. So what I did was each day I made a square, including like the character on it and sewing on all the ends. So each day had a square. Then I was going to sew it together and do the crown, because that's the next step in the pattern, is to make this, sew them into a tube and then make the crown and sew it on. And I was going to stop there, since it was kind of a fair stopping point. But I was so excited to see it done that same day I did the thing. So the goal is to make 1 square a day, and then have the hat, and then, or the crown, and then the brim. Which, if I followed that, would mean that these hats take me 6 days. So next week, I hope, if I'm not completely done, I will definitely have squares to show you next week for this. It's just so stinking adorable. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. This makes my heart so happy. So those are my finished objects. Let me put this in its bag. And for works in progress, let's talk about these, because these kind of make me sad. So I had made my son socks for his birthday, and when he put them on, he was a little bit disappointed, because apparently I misunderstood his feedback on the last pair of socks that I made him. And although he likes his socks kind of short, he also wanted them up over his ankles. So I took time, since they were toe-up socks anyways, it was pretty easy to do. I undid the ribbing. I did my cast off, undid the ribbing, and I have been working stockinette again up, and I'm going to keep working them up and make them so that they will be up over his ankle. So I don't mind it, but it was a little discouraging to get it wrong. Discouragement apparently is my word of the week. We'll talk about that later. So I did pull the yarn back out, and when I get work back off most of the stuff that was ribbing, I will, join in the yarn and continue. So hopefully those don't take me too long. But I have so many things going right now that, yeah. So there's that. Oh. Here's something that is mostly a finished object I forgot to talk about. So last week I showed you guys the hands for the, Boxy Boo. And I finished both the feet. So here's one of them. Let me tell you, I measured. But I forgot to take in account, even though I did a whole thing on it for purse straps, the stretch and the stretch factor. So each of my things has a little tuck. If it had been knitting, I would have been able to cut that out and graft it together, and it wouldn't have nobody would even notice. But it's not knitting, it is crochet. So I just kind of sewed it and made little tucks in the back of each of them. I put plastic canvas, a few layers in the toes just to help it kind of keep a little bit more boxy as it goes around his foot. I have put a crocheted strap to go on the bottom to help it hold on to his foot. And then I have a very, 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 very long chain that I've gone to make the wraparounds. And again, I'm going to put another picture of the creature he's going to be up here. So you can see it has the square feet, and then it has, he's going to wear black pants. And then we're going to wrap this up around his legs so it looks like the springs. So we've got that. I've got both of them with their string. I've got both of the mitts done, which I showed last week. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be so good, and I'm going to clean up my yarn and pull things out and do all the things. And I got everything put away and went, oh no, you're kidding me. I put the yarn, the extra yarn, in the tote. It happens to be the bottom of 4 of their totes that are like this big. For the bottom of those totes, I don't know how many gallons that is, but 4 of them, it's on the bottom. And I'm like, seriously? So I do not have his arm ones done, and I was like, I just did that. My goal is to finish another project I'm working on, and then when I go to put the extra yarn from that away, I can pull out the other yarn, hurry and sew it up, and it will be fine. It's just going to be a really, 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 really long chain, or 2. Haven't decided. But we're gonna pin it to the bottom of his shirt so that he can take the mitts off and on if he needs to. Wrap it around. And then I haven't decided if it's going to just be pinned at the top here and then another one doing the same thing on this arm, or if it's going to go across the back and then down. So there's that. So I'm almost done with this project, and I just have to finish the other one and I can pull that out. I feel so bad, but Halloween's still a couple weeks away, so we're okay. Things should be fine. They should be fine. So speaking of Halloween, my daughter wants to be a scarecrow. And so, yeah. This is the flower of the month for Judy's Creations in Crochet Make Along. You basically look at the picture and then you say, what colors do I have? What colors do I see? What colors stand out to me? And you make something and then you submit it to her by the deadline, and that's it. Like, she has like a little giveaway thing. I don't really care about that. I care about participating. I think it's really fun to just work in different cowls and things like that. I just think, especially if it's in a YouTube channel, I just really love that, that support, that community support. So I have been working with let me pull out my yarns first. I have this red. It's a little bit different. Sorry. So here's the string part for this. I don't know if you can tell. You should be able to tell, but some people might not. It's a different color. So this red here is a little more pink, cool toned. This red is a little more rusty colored. And so I have this color, and I think it goes great with that picture, as does this. So I don't have the information on this other than I know it's 100% acrylic worsted weight. This is a Lion Brand Basic Stitch Premium. They're 3.5 yards. I'm pretty sure I got this in a, I know I did, in a mystery yarn challenge that Lori does. So it's just a worsted weight, 100% acrylic kind of thing. And I just thought this would really be cute. So she wants to be a scarecrow. So this, I'm going to crochet a band with hair like things. It's a straw coming down. And then we'll put some like around her neck, some that she can have somewhere on her sleeves. We'll talk about it as we get closer. She has a pair of pants that she's going to wear that already has holes. I think it would be really fun to just make a little patch so that some of the yarn can poke out through the holes. And this is a soft enough yarn. I think she can handle it. This yarn is not as soft. I don't know if this is a red heart. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. But I kind of hinted at what it is. So here's what I've been working on. I'm crocheting it. Her scarecrow glasses, scarecrow hat that I'm going to go a little bit longer and then make a brim, and it's going to be her hat, and I think it's going to be really, really cute, really fun. So when I finish making this and get done with all of her yarn bits, then I will go back to working, or that's when I'll switch the yarns and finish the chain for my son's Halloween costume. So that's the plan anyway. What else do I have? Tithing project. This is how it's coming along. I did start doing decreases. I've realized that for the star stitch, you can't really tell. I do them because on the star stitch, you do the stitch pattern on one row, and then the second row is single crochets back, and then you do the stitch pattern single crochet back. So I have been doing decreases, and as long as I keep, because it's over an even number of stitches, as long as I keep it, my decreases even, I can do this and continue to kind of work it back in. So I have been working on this. It is a little bit on the big side, so it's a little bit on the slouchy side. But so I might make my next single crochets. I might do a little bit extra. I'm not sure. I will have to see what I choose to do tomorrow. But that's that. I'm really excited about that. My daughter showed interest in knitting. That was interesting. I wonder if she'll follow through. I think it would be really fun. I think she would enjoy it as long as she kept with soft yarns. She has a very sensitive texture issues, which is why she didn't continue crocheting, but she didn't communicate with me about why until recently, or I could have gotten her soft yarns before. I am getting a lot pickier about yarns as I'm getting older and experiencing softer yarns, and she's more allergic to wool than me, so that's fun. And I did start this. We'll see how far I get on it. This month is the second month and last month of a shawl along that Salt City Knits is doing. Her name is Emily, and I think it's pretty fun because she lives in Utah. I have an extra special place in my heart for all the people I know that live in Utah. Anyway, so I started it. Here's my shawl. I'll put it over here so you can kind of see it. Isn't it so lovely? It's just so big and so long. Okay, there's 5 rows. There we go. I started it today. But then I was like, you know what? I've got to put this down. I have so many things to do, including record a video. So I did start it. Is this one called the Olive Shawl? I don't remember what it's called, but I'm going to put the link in the description. I know I saw it on the last Judy's Creations and Crochet. Her when the first of them each month, when she announces the flower of the month, she also does the little slideshow of the month before. And I saw this pattern and I thought it was so pretty. So I am using Christmas Hobie, and my cake is falling apart, and so I have it in the bag, and I have so much going on that I don't even want to take and wind it, so I'm just going to try to hold off doing anything. Even though the layers are winding, I'm just going to keep it in the bag, pulling from the center, doing it. It is on a G4 hook, not the bigger G, but the smaller G. So I got that. And then I need to check really quick on my thing. I have not been working on the multivalence because even though I have 2 more clues, I have September's and October's clues, but I'm so busy on Christmas projects and trying to keep up on all that stuff that I haven't worked on those. Millie is staying up to date, and yes, we did get into the blue temperatures. We've gotten pretty cold the last few days, so I haven't looked at the kit temperatures. I do that on Sunday. I sit in and I type up the weeks, and then I crochet them and don't think about Millie for another week. Well, I may think about her, but it's not a priority for me. My alpaca socks, they're somewhere. I haven't been working on those. My son's present, he was going to be gone today, but then they changed things because his stepmom's family is doing a Halloween party, and it's kind of their big deal party because everybody's kids are all over the place for holiday, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the things, so they've kind of made Halloween party kind of their fall big time celebration. So the kids are doing that a week from tomorrow, so they're going to be going to their dad's a week late. And so then I will work on his, hopefully finish it. I really hope to finish it next week. That would be really fun. And take some pressure off of me. Snakes are doing good, although I didn't do work on them for a few days, so I had to work on them. I've been doing the 100 Days of Christmas, which you can look at the playlist that I will list up here of my playlist of what I've been doing on that, so you can go see that and how that's coming along. I just posted, as of today, Friday, days 25 through 28, 25 through 28. There was a little bit of a delay, partly me, partly because one of the stitches was delayed. There's a lot going on emotionally for me, so sometimes my projects aren't working and going very far, and sometimes they do great things. And yeah, what else? I talked about that and that and that and that and that. I think that covers everything that I'm either actively working on. Oh, nope, except for the octopus. I know what my problem is. I am working with Red Heart yarn, just like the Super Saver, and that plasticky texture, it's hard, plus it's an amigurumi, so it's smaller. You use a smaller hook, so the stitches are tight and it's everything stiff, and I just don't enjoy the textures of the yarn. So I think that is my number one issue with why I'm not actually making progress like I want to. If I have time tomorrow, I'm going to sit down and make all of the rest of the circles and just force myself to make the rest of the circles and probably start the next one, because I think if I can get the next one started, I can get going. And now that I may have to tell myself that I cannot work on hats because those bucket hats are so delightful. I may have to tell myself I can't work on bucket hats until I've got an octopus done. We will see. because I'm not even sure. I may have to remath to see if I can even get the octopus done in time. So yeah, lots going on. Let's talk my life update. Let's really talk about discouragement. It has been the feeling of late. I get discouraged with my projects. I get discouraged with my life situation. I get discouraged with the house situation. It's just the feeling that comes up a lot. And it's always been, it's discouragement or hopelessness. Those are like my two main things. So I've been working on them, hoping that I'm figuring it out. It's been a thing. And when I get discouraged, it's really hard to work on anything. Sometimes I will just do nothing. Sometimes I will play games on the phone. Sometimes I will crochet or knit when I should be doing something else. I feel discouraged when I look at my dishes, because although I had created a system and I was doing really good, I was sick and depressed, like physically ill, and a couple days of depression, and then like everything got behind. And so even though I've tried to go in and kind of work on them, trying to get there, it's discouraging, because I had them all done and it was beautiful, and then I didn't feel good, and it's frustrating. I was like, so I've been dealing with that. It's a lot. The socks for my son, that was discouraging. Some of my kids, they would feel disappointed, but me, I feel discouraged. Discouraged is an interesting word, don't you think about it? Because you've got and then you've got courage. And I do have a lot of fear issues, so that's kind of funny to me. And hopeless is when I'm truly afraid that nothing will ever change, nothing will ever get better. And I feel that so much. And I have done so much energy healing, mindset, emotional work, journaling, all the things. And I'm trying and I'm working on it and I'm getting a little better, but it's still a challenge. It is still a challenge. I feel less discouragement in the yarn world, which is why I make progress. But I definitely feel a lot of discouragement in every other area of my life. Sometimes in the parenting, like the relationship aspect of parenting, I actually feel pretty good about, for the most part. It's been interesting. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, we have the eclipse, which apparently is a big deal, and I didn't know it. I'm like, why are people talking about eclipse stuff? And then I found out the eclipse is happening on Saturday, October 14th. And I'm going to be at a wedding at that time. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how their pictures work out, because the eclipse is supposed to start like at 9, and then like the full aspect, I don't know how much we can see in Provo, but a couple hours away is where it's supposed to be like the main thing. And then that is like about 10:30. May or may not be done with the actual ceremony, so we might be inside, we might be outside. And if we're outside, I'm like, are all her pictures going to be looking like she got married at night when she gets married in the morning? I think that's kind of funny, but that's what it is. It's kind of cool as well. So I've got all that going on tomorrow, which does not help. Other areas the discouragement comes up with. Because somebody wants me to teach a class, but I never actually had the concrete date until today. And it is next Wednesday. And I was never given a concrete time of, I need the whatever printouts done by this time in order to do the whole thing. Like, I didn't get the printout. Like, I wasn't told I need to have the printouts by Saturday, October 14th until today. She's like, I need the printouts. And I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't aware of the dates. So that's discouraging for me, and my instinct is to quit and not even follow through. I probably should have just said no in the first place, but I didn't. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Oh, I was going to tell you what I found out about the eclipse in case you didn't know. Apparently it's called a ring of fire. So it's September, I think 2017. We weren't, so I live in Utah, and the main eclipse thing, when the big deal eclipse came across Utah, or the United States in 2017, it was in Idaho, like 3 or 4 hours north of us. So we, I think, got like an 85% eclipse. So we went out, we had like the cereal boxes with the holes in it for the kids. We did not purchase glasses. We did not purchase glasses for tomorrow. I found out about the eclipse yesterday. I live in a box. But the thing I remember about it was, whenever I think about that, I think about all the shadows. And if I remember, I'm going to try to put a picture up here of some of the pictures we took, because all the shadows were in crescent moons, and it looked so stinking cool. It was weird and cool at the same time. The temperature really dropped, and that is my biggest concern, because it's already chilly right now, and we're going to be outside for probably an hour in the, like, right around the time that the eclipse happens tomorrow. So that makes me uncomfortable, but what do we do? But because we're in the winter time, I think this is why it's this way. I think it's because it's winter time, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's always this way. Maybe it's not always in the winter. I don't know. But apparently this is an annual eclipse that happens. And it's called the Ring of Fire because the moon is farther away from the earth. And so when it lines up with the sun, it actually appears smaller, when usually when you have like a total eclipse, that's why they're called total, is because the moon appears to be bigger than the sun because of how it lines up in front, because it just lines up just right to cover the moon or the sun completely. So if you are in like total eclipse zone, you get complete darkness. The current one is called Ring of Fire because it leaves a little bit of the sun all the way around it. So that's pretty cool. And that's what we're dealing with. So I don't know how that's going to look tomorrow, what's happening, how it's going to affect the wedding pictures. We'll see. Anyway, I'm excited about it though. It's kind of fun. I think they're fun. Can you believe Halloween is just around the corner? Other than costume stuff, I haven't done anything. Decorated my cat. I'll put a picture of my cat up here. I made him a gnome thing that we just took off. And he won't likely wear his gnome outfit until January again, because he's got holiday outfits to wear. My daughter found glasses at a thrift store. They're so stinking cute on the cat. It was like they were made for him. It was amazing. So it's super cute. And then I have not pulled out anything else Halloween, and that frustrates me because it's mid-October and I like to decorate, but there's a lot of factors involved. So hopefully I get those out and get some decorations up, pull out costumes for whatever we're gonna do. I know that I'm planning to stay home on Halloween. My daughter is taking her boyfriend out to celebrate. He has never celebrated Halloween before. So he'll be 21 about a week before Halloween, so that'll be fun for him to have that experience. And the younger kids are going to be hanging out with their dad while I I stay at home. And it's all good. The haunt is going well. The kids are loving it. The paint is doing amazing. My older daughter is dealing with a lot of illness. She actually vented directly to somebody that was hurting her, and a lot of her illness lifted. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And I was like, yep, you gotta say the words. You gotta express. And then she did a little journaling exercise to find out why else she was being sick, and figured out that, and so she's doing a lot better today. Yay. Anyway, that's where we're at today. We're doing it. We're living life. Trying to keep hope. Let's see. What can I pick up? Where's that? Remember. Whoops. Green yarn. Stay there. Oh, and just a reminder that the yarn for this is a DK weight. It's a DK weight cotton, so it's pretty lightweight, which is kind of fun. I think it will make a fun summer hat for them. And they just moved to Washington State, so they don't need they don't really need the wintry stuff. They don't have enough winter up there where they're at to like that, so the spring type weather, spring and fall weather stuff will be fun for them, and they can wear them in the summer. So anyway, remember to let your light shine through your creations, whatever they be. Knit, crochet, latch hook, whatever it is, whatever way you want to express yourself, writing, singing, music, blowing glass, I don't know, however you want to express yourself. Remember to let your light shine, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.